the foul-mouthed Aussie, and you're listening to that wrestling podcast, and it fucking sucks!
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. It's Monday, it's money, it's Nevlum, and we're going to talk a little wrestling, baby. You ready, brother?
Hell yeah, I'm ready, man. You know I'm always down for it. Let's do it, brother.
Coming all the way from Puerto Rico and joining us today, man. How are you today? How's everything going down there, brother?
You know, I'm just a little sore from my matches, but I'm good, man.
Glad to hear that, brother. Glad to hear that. Well, at least your voice isn't sore, man, because we've got a lot to talk about today, brother. We're going to talk about Conan recently shared his thoughts on, like, he sees a disconnect between WWE and their fans. We're going to touch on that. Chris Jericho and his upcoming match versus Okada for the NJPW Heavyweight Championship. We're going to touch on that. Mick Foley actually said that he is up for a rematch against Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell match. I can't believe that, but we are going to touch on that, brother. WWE signed Goldberg in part because of AEW concerns. WWE's pulling stars from conventions because of AEW concerns. Ali versus Andrade is booked for Tuesday, and I'm kind of excited about that match. And Daniel Bryan, we got a little speculation on why he's been out, brother. You ready to hop into all this today, Melvin?
Let's go, brother. Let's go for it, brother.
Hey, before we do you care real quick just to tell the people of the audience what's going to happen if this channel hits 1,000 subscribers?
Oh, yeah, man. Clyde is definitely going to get a guitar shot either from Jeff Jarrett or somebody, man. We're going to get somebody to do it.
It's going to happen, brother. Heck yeah, it is, man. Thank you for sharing that for us. And, yeah, I don't know if you saw the news over the weekend, dude, that Conan, you know who Conan is, right? Everybody's favorite superstar, Conan. He sees a disconnect between WWE and their fans. And here's a quick quote, brother. I want to read it to you, then I want to get your thoughts. A lot of people think WWE fans don't know what's good for them. I always remember thinking, what do you mean they don't know what's good for them? They're not going to pay money to see something they don't like. They know what they like. They know what they want to see. And a lot of times they would fight fans like, this is what they want. And I would think to myself, no, they're telling them what you want. They ignored the fans for a long time. What do you think about that, brother?
Well, I think he's on point, brother. I agree with everything he says. I agree with everything he says. Hey, I grew up mostly, like from 80s through all the 90s, and I remember through the 90s, hell, if the crowd didn't like you, they would curse. They would. Remember that?
Yeah, definitely, dude. During the Attitude Era, absolutely.
And well, they would listen. So they wanted Stone Cold, the middle finger pulling, whatever. They wanted him as their superstar. So they didn't ignore that. They went for it, and look what happened, bro. They boosted all the way up because they were getting killed by WCW during the time. So
they was, man, and that's good that you pointed that out, dude. It's almost like by WWE at that point in time, kind of giving the fans what they wanted, they succeeded. And then I was just reading an article over the weekend though that says like ratings are down. I think was last week like a historically low rated episode of Raw. I don't know if you've seen that or not. And then so it kind of ties back to WWE just swapped all the main belts off. Becky's got the two women's titles. Kofi's got the WWE Championship, and Seth Rollins is holding that Universal title. At WrestleMania, did Vince give the fans everything they wanted? Do you think that he did?
Well, to be honest, I actually believe so. I think they tried their best to give fans what they wanted because heck, what the hell Kofi was doing. If you see the Kofi thing around Royal Rumble and all that, Kofi wasn't nowhere near the championship. He was just doing New Day. So then they put him in the gauntlet matches, and people started Kofi. We want Kofi. He's been out here for what, 11 years, man. Come on, man, get that dude. So they kept pushing it and pushing it, and the fans kept pushing that. So I guess Vince saw that and said, hell, let's do it, man. And
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I think he did a good. I think he did a good job, actually. You know,
I think they did
who
too.
wanted Becky to lose, really?
Right. I think he
You
gave
know,
the fans what they
I
wanted.
don't think.
I think he gave the fans what they wanted, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I think that it's kind of hurting
of
them
course.
because ratings have been down ever since then, you know. So I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword. And me and Mike Britt was actually touching on this on Thursday, kind of like he was saying a guy like Brock Lesnar just puts more eyes on the television, just that even if he's champ, even if he's not on the show. And I don't know, I kind of disagree with that, but I guess the proof is in the pudding, man, and the numbers are showing that. Like the Raw ratings were better when Lesnar was the champ, brother.
Yeah, but okay. The Raw ratings were better when Lesnar was the champ. Yeah, whatever. But when did Lesnar show up on Raw, brother?
I agree, man.
I mean, he
I
showed
didn't
up.
like seeing him as champion.
Showed up,
I know it's kind of odd. Like the
he
fans
popped
asked.
up like what?
I was just saying it's odd because the fans ask for it. They say, "Hey, you know, we want to see Rollins, or we're just tired of seeing Brock as this champion." And you could sense that, you know, from the WWE fans. And then as soon as they swap the belt off, it's like they just quit watching. I just thought it was kind of odd. That's all, brother.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it's because of the championship switch. I think it's been coming. It's just been that way, you know. WWE just has to fix it. They're not gonna fix it in one day. You know, they're not gonna fix it with WrestleMania.
Right. Well
You know,
said, dude.
because then you watch Raw and you're gonna see probably the same matches you seen last week. You know, and I don't know, man. Like they got a lot of talent. They really got a lot of talent. So they should just use the talent people want to see and the talent people cheer for. Use them and to boost others or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know who Rollins is fighting, but he's fighting AJ Styles,
Yeah.
which is
Well, let's talk about this real quick. You
that's
said
gonna be.
WWE has a lot of talent, and they do. And what do you think about them recently, like keeping some of their talent out of these AEW shows? I mean, I don't know if you've seen the news over the weekend, like they've evidently pulled Kurt Angle from a second autograph signing convention. This was WrestleCade weekend. It's supposed to be November 29th and November 30th of this year, and they've actually pulled Kurt Angle from it and haven't offered them a replacement because they said that WrestleCade is affiliated with AEW, even though the owner and the promoter of the event says that they're not. And what do you think about WWE kind of doing this stuff lately?
Brother, I don't. Well, to me, they honestly that I think Vince McMahon is very worried. I think he's worried, you know, yeah, and he should be, man, because AEW is looking great. Like the roster they have, and they keep signing this talent, and they haven't even put on a show, brother. Like the show that is coming up right now, the Double or Nothing. So, brother, I think Vince is, you know, he probably he knows, you know, he knows Chris Jericho, all of them, they're coming to compete, man. They're coming to do their thing, and they're giving wrestling fans what they want.
Yeah, like you said,
AEW,
Vince knows this is coming, dude. He senses it coming, and I think he's just trying to pull all the stops. He's trying to make sure that anybody he has under his contract and under his umbrella isn't out helping the competition in any way, shape, or form at this moment, brother. I think that's kind of what we got going on. It's smart. It's smart business, really. You know,
yeah, smart business, but at the same time, people are seeing it as he's kind of afraid. He's kind of scared. I don't know why, because he's a billionaire, man.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Why not let just
well said, dude.
just
He's
let
got the
Kurt
money.
Angle go sign autographs, bro?
Right.
What the hell? Why you gotta?
And speaking of generating some money, Nevlin, we got to step out real quick for a commercial break. You got time to join us for one more segment, brother?
Yeah, man, I got time, brother. Let's do it.
All right, guys, we're going to step out, pay a few bills, and we will be right back after this. This summer, one family.
Dad, this place is kind of creepy.
Son, get some rest. There's nothing to be afraid of. Is about to see that things ain't always what they seem.
The legend is true. Can't believe it.
For thousands of years, they've been dormant, and now they must eat. Darnell Jackson and Haley Joel Osment star in this summer's blockbuster hit that you won't want to miss. Okay, my keys. Where's my keys?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh God.
clowns in a house.
I just want to go home.
Welcome back. Segment number 2. Nevlum is still here joining us. What is up, brother? Thanks for taking time to join us for another second. All the way from sunny Puerto Rico, baby.
That's right, baby. Right here, you know, sitting back on my balcony, just looking at the sky.
Speaking of looking at the sky, I think Clyde's out looking at the sky today. Have you heard what he's out doing, brother?
That's what I was gonna ask you, bro. Like, where's Clyde, man?
I think he's at the zoo, man. I think it's actually he went to the zoo with his mother.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Where's that, brother? You think she packed you lunch?
So, they definitely had to pack him like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, man, brother. They had to do something. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I think so, brother. Hopefully he's got like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He probably has an apple and a little baggie of chips. And I bet he has like a juice box, like a Capri Sun or something in there, too.
Yeah, man, probably, bro. And maybe some crackers or remember them little Lunchables? Maybe took him one of those, man.
She packed him up a Lunchable, brother. Yeah, we'll have to ask him, dude. We need to take a poll question on that. That's what we need to do, brother.
Yeah, man.
Hey, speaking of taking poll questions, man, I want to know if you want to join me for my favorite segment of the day before we hop into a little more news, brother. We call this one right here, brother. We call this one Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. Are you ready, brother?
Oh, brother, I'm ready. Let's go for it.
Every day.
How many times I fail.
Every day we ask Clyde. In this case, it's going to be Nevlum. 3 random wrestling-related questions, and they're literally coming from out of nowhere. So, audience, feel free to play along at home. And, yeah, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this, brother. You ready?
I'm ready, bro.
Question number one. What was, who was Triple H's pay-per-view match debut against? Who was it against?
Triple H pay-per-view?
Yes. Taking it back on you.
Man.
Taking it back.
Okay, so taking it back. Wow. Wow. Let me just. I don't know, brother. Oh my God, Savio Vega.
Mr. Producer Man, show me. You say Savio Vega. Mr. Producer Man, show me Savio Vega. Oh no! So sorry. That was a good guess, though, man. I love hearing when people say, you know, he just has one of the coolest names to say in all of wrestling, Savio Vega. It was actually his debut pay-per-view match was against Bob Holly in SummerSlam in 1995, and he won.
Oh well, you know.
Hey, tough.
It was a tough match, I guess.
That was a tough question, brother. It was a tough question. All right, question 2. Maybe this one. I don't know if this one will be any easier for you or not. Here we go. Question number 2. Bob Backlund was an amateur wrestler in college. Which college did he attend?
Oh, God. Bob Backlund. Oh man. Is there any like clues to or whatever for college, bro?
Yeah, it's in the western half of the United States.
West.
I'm setting the timer, brother.
Kentucky? I don't know, bro.
Mr. Producer, man, show me Kentucky. Oh, no. It was a tough one, dude. I thought Clyde was going to be on for this segment today, dude. I was ready to get him. I hate to be firing at you like this, brother, but it was North Dakota State University, brother.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, question 3. Are you ready, brother? You might get this one. This one, you might get this one, brother. Let's see. What year was Lita inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? What year was she inducted?
Who?
What year was Lita inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Lita?
Yes.
Okay, Lita, maybe around, let me see. I'm going to say 2000. Okay, hold up. Let me not go that far. Maybe 2016 or 15?
Mr. Producer Man, show me 2016 or 15. Let's see. Oh, man, he was close though, brother. He was really close. She was actually inducted in 2014 with along with Trish. Yeah, her and Trish, 2014, brother.
14, both of them at the same time, bro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow, I didn't remember that, man.
Same year. I don't know if it was the same. I don't know if they're the same moment. It was the same year. Okay.
Wow, man.
Okay, brother. Yeah,
thanks
for playing that segment today, man. That was a little rough. I know it was a little rough, man. But do you want to hop back into a little bit of news here, brother?
Yeah, brother, let's go for it, man. What's up?
WWE just recently announced that Tuesday night on SmackDown that Mustafa Ali is going to take on Andrade in a one-on-one match, and I'm kind of excited about seeing that one, dude. I think both of these guys can go in the ring, man, and I think both these guys' ring skills are kind of underappreciated in the company. And what do you think about these guys squaring off?
Oh man, I definitely like both of them, man. That Ali kid, he has a lot of time to grow. You know, it's not like he's gonna they're misusing him. He's got a lot of time to grow. I mean, he just came in like what, a few months ago to SmackDown, and they were already gonna put him in a title picture. So, you know, he's right there. But Andrade, on the other hand, Andrade's he's been there for a while. I mean, former NXT champion. I personally think he's been underused. I personally think they could have done great things versus him because he was playing a heel. So I think they're putting him in the Money in the Bank, though. They're not see his face, and I wouldn't mind Andrade with the Money in the Bank case.
That's what I said too. I would like to see Andrade win that match, and I know there's a lot of people out there that don't agree with that, and that's fine. That's why we have so many different superstars to pull for. But man, Andrade can go.
That's fine. That's why we have so many different superstars.
You know.
But man, Andrade can go.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, I wouldn't mind him winning the match, bro. I wouldn't mind. Like, if he grabs the briefcase, it'll be a shocker. Plus, he could. Because he has the manager that basically Salina does all the talking, because Andrade talks, but
yeah.
you see Salina mostly the one that's be talking, so it'll be cool, man. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it will be too, man. And speaking of being pretty cool, man, I'm getting a little feedback from you on your end. You got me on speaker, do you?
You got me on speaker, do you?
Come on, bro, I don't.
Okay, well, what I think will be really cool is I'm looking forward to this NJPW Championship match between Chris Jericho and Okada coming up soon. Did you hear about that?
Oh, man. Oh, yes, definitely I did, man. When I saw that, I was like, oh, brother, this is going to be good, man.
It's going to be a good match.
Hey,
and it's also,
you never know, man.
It's also fresh off the heels of the news that AEW is evidently going to limit where their talent can wrestle outside the company, too.
Yeah, I personally thought that from the beginning. I thought this is gonna be like a company that's gonna let talent in, and they're gonna let them like wrestle out. Like it's not gonna. That's what I think they're gonna do. Like, like maybe someday you'll see let's for example say AEW, right? They're running something, and one day Sting pops up. Like. I think they're gonna do stuff like that, like random wrestlers maybe pop up and wrestle, maybe for a month or something. And then
so you think that they'll like rotate a lot of talent in and out of the company kind of throughout the next few months? And yeah, I thought that too, dude. But I just saw a report over the weekend that says that AEW is going to kind of limit where their talent can go outside of the company. Like I guess maybe with their stars. So I got to thinking, once you get millions of dollars involved in this, maybe it kind of changed their thinking.
Yeah, they probably should, man. But I'm saying like letting. I don't know about letting talent out. Maybe they'll let like a few wrestlers, but not their main. Not like their main stars. They're not gonna. But I'm shocked that Chris Jericho. That was a shocker to me when I saw that. I said, "Wow, man!" And in my wrestling head, I said, "Wow, Chris Jericho's gonna win this match."
Yeah, it would be. Crazy.
He's gonna win this match, and double or nothing, he's gonna put the title up against Kenny Omega. I don't know. That's what I.
Oh,
that would be crazy, dude. And Neville, we got to hop out for another quick commercial break, and we're going to be back in the next segment, actually, with Jerry Negron, and then hopefully after that, we're going to have one more segment and be back with Clyde to wrap the show up. Thank you so much for taking a few moments to join us today, and you got any closing thoughts for us before we hop out, brother?
Nah, brother. Just keep listening to this podcast. Tell your friends to subscribe. We want to get Clyde to get hit with a chair shot. With a guitar shot. Sorry. And thank you for having me, bro. It's a pleasure to come on anytime, man.
Well, thank you for being here, brother. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And we're gonna hop right out real quick, pay a few bills, and we'll be right back in segment 3 with Jerry Negron.
following reptile.
Hello, I'm Richard, but you can call me Dick. And I'm going to talk about something today that not a lot of men really like to talk about. But sometimes after a long day in the saddle, I get a little itching in my nether region. And that's why I got with my friend Peter here and created a wonderful product. You tell him about it, Peter.
Well, my name's Peter. I'll tell you, if you got an itch and you giddy up, there ain't nothing better for that itch than Texas ball cream.
That's right, it's Texas Ball Cream. You can pick us up at all your local retailers. Just ask the pharmacist for Texas Ball Cream. Yeah! Back for another segment. What a commercial break that was. You never know what you're going to hear around here in between the segments. We're back with a special guest, Jerry Negron. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How's everything?
Oh, it's going good, man. We've been trying to hook up with you for a while. I know we've kind of had some scheduling conflicts, man, so it's nice to finally have you back on the air, brother.
Awesome, great. I can't wait to get this going again.
Yeah, well, right away, I want to hop into this with you, dude. I guess you've heard the Moxley, the Ambrose, whatever this gentleman's going by now. What do you think this gentleman's doing? I guess you've seen the vignette and everything he released, and evidently he's supposedly released from WWE. And where do you think we next see John Moxley, brother?
I think Moxley could be going to Ring of Honor. He'd be going to New Japan Pro Wrestling, or he'd be going to Impact. So wherever he goes, it's going to be good for him.
You think there's a chance we actually, and I've kind of seen that theory picking up some steam, the Impact theory, the last, I don't know, maybe 12 to 24 hours across the internet, and I'm just curious, kind of what makes you think that?
Well, Impact, for him, it's just, he's only got to be on TV for, a few hours, and, he can fly back to Vegas for the week. It's a very short schedule for him. They're probably going to pay him a decent amount of money, and in the long run, I think it's good for him so he can get some of his injuries all healed up and ready to go.
Yeah, okay, well, I can get behind that, dude. It's just the thing about it, really, man. This is like the oddest, wrestling free agent I've seen, and I don't know how long. I don't know. Can you go back to another, a case as peculiar as this one?
Not really, because you know what? I probably would say Jeff Hardy, because we knew Jeff Hardy was leaving maybe 10, 15 years ago, and then when he came back to Impact from when he left, I think, Raw, and then that Sunday he was on the TNA pay-per-view. It was crazy. Yeah,
that probably was the last time we had this much, I guess, suspense and build around, what is somebody gonna do? You know what I mean? We just don't know, brother.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Speaking of what somebody's going to do, evidently this is leaked out. I don't know if you've seen this, brother. WWE is possibly going to have Becky Two Belts on the cover of the new 2K20 video game. You got any thoughts on that, brother?
I think it's great. You know what? We've had a bunch of characters, different athletes on the covers, and to finally have a girl on the cover, I think it's amazing. It's all about the women's power, women forward, this, that, and the other. And I appreciate it, man. I'm digging it, man. Becky, 2 belts on the cover, 2K20. It sounds great.
Yeah, it does sound good, dude. And I was thinking that same thing, dude. The momentum is there. What better time than now to do this? They've just had the women headline WrestleMania. Now it's time to definitely show them some appreciation. Let them grace the covers of these video games too. I just personally wish it would have been Alexa. That's all I'm saying.
You know what would have been pretty cool if they have a chase cover with Kofi or Seth Rollins, because I know Seth Rollins has been on the cover, but have Kofi be a chase cover for the game.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, dude. Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So I'm looking forward to that release and just picking that up, like you said, just for more of the historic purposes of the whole thing, man. It's gonna be beautiful, brother.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and so do you got any thoughts on this? I recently saw this article. I'm gonna pull it up just because I want to give I like to try to cite sources properly. You know what I mean, brother? So here we go. Let's see.
I hear you.
This is on. This is on allwrestling.com. Excuse me there for dragging that out there. But evidently, the Authors of Pain have been out for a while. I didn't know what was up with them guys. And evidently, Occam has been out injured. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know none of them. I didn't know he was injured at all.
And this is the trio were pushed on Raw late last year, even though they won the tag team championships. And it says they've been off the show ever since. And it says Akam went down with an injury. John Pollock of Post Wrestling now says that Akam and Rezar are both healthy again and should be returning to the ring very soon. And it's unclear whether or not Drake Maverick will still be managing the duo when they return. And you got any thoughts on AOP, man? You like those guys? You like seeing them out there smashing stuff, brother?
Dude, I do. I think they're a great tag team. I think WWE really needs to use these guys for who they are. You know what I mean? I think WWE's been slacking on that a lot with like some of these great talents. And once they got them in motion where they want them to be at, sky's the limit for them.
I think so too, brother. And I would like to see these these guys get pushed. I love these just big behemoth tag teams that they've been building up through the NXT ranks over the last couple of years. You know, you got like the heavy machinery guys. You've got the Viking Raiders, the Berserkers, whatever they're calling them now, and you've got
I think they're the Berserkers now.
Yeah, AOP. You've got I guess they built up so many of these big, heavy, hard hitting tag teams, man. I would love to see them all. Maybe get a chance to shine on Raw and pass these belts around for a little while. Just some of these big, strong dudes, man.
Oh, absolutely, it'd be great.
So you got anything to share with us today, Jerry?
No rumors or nothing though, but to be honest with you, I would really like to see, because I know Money in the Bank is going to be in Hartford, Connecticut. I do live in Connecticut. I think this pay-per-view is going to be great, because the last time they had a pay-per-view in Connecticut was, I want to say it was No Way Out, and it was Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley and Triple H, and I was at that pay-per-view.
Oh, wow. Are you going to have a chance to make it up to Money in the Bank this year, brother?
I don't know. We'll see. Because if I do, I'm definitely. It's going to be my daughter's first pay-per-view. If we do go,
she sounds excited.
It'll be my yeah, she does. It'll be my daughter's first pay-per-view and first wrestling show, because she's a huge wrestling fan.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know what? And sharing that with the family is what makes it so much fun. Like my little son, he's 10, brother, and he enjoys nothing more than to sit down and watch wrestling together with me. And I don't necessarily think it's really the wrestling thing. It's just kind of doing something with his dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she loves wrestling. Her favorite wrestler is John Cena.
John Cena in the house, brother. Yeah, and man, I want to close it out. One more quick topic with you, brother, and I appreciate you taking some time to join us today. And I don't know if you've seen this report today. It's kind of out there across Facebook, and it's AEW's talent will need special permission to take independent bookings, and that's kind of like a 180 from what I was hearing initially. And this is just a report. This is not anything set in stone, I guess. But what do you think about that? Considering that their stance initially was like their talent can kind of go anywhere they want to go, and it's kind of like a free peace and love in wrestling. You know what I mean? And now kind of taking a 180.
I really think it's a little weird, because you have all this great talent. You just don't want them stuck, in just being, just doing AEW, because you have all these other WWE wrestlers. Some of them do have independent contracts, like Jerry the King Lawler. He would just announce, and then he'll come to a Northeast wrestling show. He'll wrestle and then go back to announcing. So I feel like AEW should just let their talent, if they're going to be booked, but don't book them, type of situation, because you really don't want them double booked and going from you have to be here, but we really need you here on the same date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that talk sounds good, it just sounds good when you're talking about it. But then once you start, putting millions of dollars where your mouth is, per se, and you got guys like, Kenny and Cody and Jericho all signed to huge contracts, I guess on, guys like that. And although they are letting Jericho take this NJPW match upcoming, but, I can kind of see why they don't want them guys kind of going out and wrestling elsewhere, because, they've got millions of dollars invested in these guys, and they want them available for their shows. But in the article, it does go on to say that, it says it doesn't apply to performers who need the experience, who will subsequently be allowed to go out and wrestle as much as possible. Again, it doesn't seem like that ruling will kick in until AEW's new weekly TV show launches later this year. So I guess we got a few months to see how it shakes out, brother.
Yeah, because you know what? Because you used to let these guys go, finish out their obligations to other independent shows, and then when AEW starts rolling around, and then once they start getting that push in their drive, then they're gonna have their talent. Hey, where we want to keep you right here. We don't want you going somewhere else and if they get injured, then it's on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so it's kind of you can kind of see, I guess, both sides of the argument. Brother.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for taking a few moments to join us today. You got anything else to share? You got any closing thoughts? You got any thoughts for Clyde, brother?
Clyde, let me tell you, Clyde is a class act. He is a multi-name base character that there is.
I wonder who the real Clyde is, brother. What is the real personality underneath all these personas?
I've always wanted to know. I've only heard his voice maybe a few times.
Yeah, brother. We have to do. That
I've never seen the real Clyde.
We can do a 4-hour podcast on that one day, brother.
Oh, we definitely could. We definitely could with all his characters. They're phenomenal, and each one has their own niche on everything. And you have the geese there. You have Wildfire. You have the sky's the limit with him because there's always somebody new every day.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what he's going to come up with, dude. I think that's his objective every day is to create a new personality and then just to apply it to his entire day. I think that's what he does, brother.
Absolutely, he definitely does.
Thanks for joining us, Jerry. We're going to hop out, pay a few bills, brother, and we'll be right back in the next segment with Clyde.
Alrighty.
The following is a paid advertisement for Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. That wrestling podcast is not responsible for any products in this ad.
Do you suffer from ACE, also known as atypical constant ejaculation? Well, you are not alone. And now, thanks to the Scrotal Treatment Center of America's patented new Semenese technology, you can get your problem taken care of. It's a series of 3 invasive laser-guided injections that'll have you up and running in no time. That's the Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. Not only am I a spokesman, but I'm a client.
Welcome back. Segment number 4 today. We went 4 segments today. I can't believe that. Long show. Man, lots to get into today. And now we're back with our good friend Clyde to close the show out. What's up, brother?
What's up, baby? How you doing? You doing all right?
Man, I'm always doing good. I'm always better after I talk to you, man. How are you? I heard you're at the zoo today. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Out with my mother and my wife, and enjoying a beautiful day here in God's country, Louisville, Kentucky.
So you took a few moments to join us from the zoo, and me and Evelyn was speculating this on a prior segment, dude. So I have to know, did your mom bring you a little brown lunch? And if so, what was in it? We was going peanut butter jelly sandwich, Lunchable. We didn't know if an apple was in there, a Capri Sun, crackers. What's in that brown bag of lunch, baby?
They want to know if you packed me a lunch, Mom. She packed me some water, brother.
Oh, man, dude. So, hold on, let me see. Mr. Producer, man, did we get that one right? Me and Evelyn, we was speculating the whole time, brother. We didn't know, man. And let's see what Mr. Producer means. Oh, we was wrong, brother. Just water.
The Capri Sun sounded good. Whoever thought of that, that's funny, you fuckers.
Yeah, man, so speaking of being funny, and seriously, I couldn't help but almost laugh a little bit when I saw this, and this was no disrespect to either wrestler, but did you see the news over the weekend? And I would love to see this match. I just don't think either man would survive it, that Mick Foley is open to a Hell in the Cell rematch against Undertaker.
Yeah, I did see that, man. It seems to be the talk of the wrestling world. And Foley's probably in the best shape he's ever been. I know he's been doing DDP yoga. He's eating healthy, and Undertaker's also in great shape, man. But these guys are still they're older gentlemen. I don't know even if Foley can pass the physical. I don't know if Vince is going to okay this, man.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking the same thing. And here's what Foley had to say right here. He said, if they wanted a rematch of the Cell badly enough and willing to pay for it, they'd probably get it. Working slower than I did 21 years ago, but I'd be out there. And I think Foley's in great shape and everything, and I love seeing Undertaker out there. I just don't know if this is necessarily the right direction to go with either one of these gentlemen, dude.
Yeah, I tell you what they could do. I mean, they're not going to be able to do the historic spots from everybody knows about their original Hell in the Cell. They're not going to be able to do any of that, but they could put on a match. I just don't see Vince okaying this, man. I really don't.
Yeah, unless they implement some of that new 3D technology, like I guess you've seen the 3D concerts with Michael Jackson and Tupac. I don't see either one of them coming off the top of that. I don't see either one of them coming off the top of that cell, brother. I just don't see it. Man. I just don't see it happening.
No, I don't want to see Mick Foley. I believe he's in his 50s. I don't want to see him thrown off a cage. I really didn't like seeing him the first time. Like Jim Ross, said, "As God is my witness." He's been torn in half, or however he said it.
Yeah, like he thought he was dead, dude. I'm sure there was a lot of people that thought he was laying there dead, man. And the fact that he walked out of that one, I think that it's recorded. They have it from 100 different angles. It's locked. It's historic. It's locked in forever. It's one of the most memorable moments in WWE history. Why press your luck, brother? You know what I mean? Why press your luck? You've got
Yeah, I agree. And Mick Foley could still be a part of the show. Come out and wave to the crowd. Maybe do something a little physical. But I don't know about this Hell in the Cell. But if they can do it, man, why not? But it's not going to be anything like the original.
Well, it's fun just to speculate about, dude, and really it all just comes off of a question there, from an interview on the Pro Wrestling Show. So let's give a little props to them for generating this conversation for everybody. And yeah, man, I think it's just cool to speculate and to talk about. Although I think the chances of it happening are slim to none. I think both of me and you both have a better chance of being bit by a shark today than we do of seeing that match, brother.
Yeah, I am at the zoo too. Might be attacked by an animal.
You never know, man. You might get mauled by a lemur. I heard you was at the lemur exhibit.
Yeah, I'm sitting there hanging out with the lemurs. They're all looking at me, shaking their heads.
That's funny. So, I wonder who they like. Are they a fan of Mick Foley or the Undertaker?
Let me ask.
Yeah.
Do y'all like the Undertaker? They don't like the Undertaker. They're more into Mick Foley.
Yeah, and can you blame him, brother? He seems like he's more of a lemur kind of guy, dude. I bet if you go over to like the rhinoceroses, some more like tough, hard-boned animals, I bet you get some Taker fans.
I could see the crocodiles pulling for the Undertaker.
Yeah, I could too, brother. So let me ask you this, man. This is the most important question of the day, brother. I've been wanting to get on this topic with you all day, really, dude. And because I had this dilemma happen over the weekend, and so you walk into a barbecue, brother, and there's only the barbecue's wrapping up. It's almost over. There's only one hot dog, one bratwurst, and one hamburger left. Which one are you taking?
I guess, brother, I'm going for the All-American hamburger. If that's the choice,
Mr. Producer Man, show me the All-American hamburger. Yeah, man. Right answer, brother. That's what I would have went for too right away, dude. That hamburger right there, brother. I'm hoping there's a slice of cheese or something laying around, some ketchup and a bun, dude, and I'm good to go, brother.
Yeah, maybe a couple of jalapenos, maybe some bacon slices.
All right, man. You got me hungry. So this segment was sponsored by Hardee's.
No, it wasn't. David's gonna get us sued.
Man, I'm glad you're having a good time at the zoo, brother. With out with the family today, dude, and still taking a few moments to join us for the show, man. We had Negron on today. We had Neville on today. It's really been a fun, action-packed day today, brother. And you got any thoughts for either one of those guys for coming on today?
Oh man, both of those gentlemen are they're world class, and we love to have them on our podcast, and they're a wealth of knowledge and a real like I said, man, it's a privilege to have them help us out.
Yeah, they're an asset is the word you was looking for.
It's their podcast too,
Yeah, absolutely, they're an asset for the show, brother. And actually, since you was busy today, Nevlin was nice enough to step in and play random wrestling knowledge for you. He took the bullet for you, brother. How do you think he did?
I believe he could have got 3 for 3. He knows his wrestling.
He does know his wrestling, dude. But last night I wrote up some questions for today, assuming you was going to be on the show on the segment with random wrestling knowledge, dude. So I had some hard hitting questions. He actually went 0 for 3 today.
Good Lord, I wouldn't have guessed that, man. It happens. I've been there too, I think.
I don't know if you've ever gone 0 for 3, brother.
Yeah, it happens.
Neville said he's coming for me in the fantasy wrestling world, brother.
Oh Lord, he's gonna cut promo.
Primo's gonna cut a promo, brother.
That's Wrestling Unleashed all out. We're out there, brother.
Yeah, brother, all out, man. And speaking of going all out, dude, I think we're about all out of time for today. So do you want to be kind enough to go ahead and put a bow on today's episode for us?
Yes, sir. For everybody that's listening to our podcast out there, if you like us, let us know. Hit the like button. Better yet, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a wrestler, tell anybody. And if you don't like it, hit us with the King Kong Bundy splash for the 5 counts, and we will be sharing this like we always do on our Facebook affiliate pages. The Bliss Army, the Becky Lynch Mob, Hitman Hart Fan Club, Kofi Kingston Club, I Heart Pro Wrestling, Carlitos Caribbean Cool Fan Club, Wrestling is Our Passion, Wrestling Unleashed, All Access Indie Wrestling, LJN Maniacs, All Elite Wrestling, Let's Get Rowdy With It, WWE Retro Figure Fan Club, Wicked Thoughts, and Music for Thought.
Well said, brother. I appreciate you having that list ready every day at the end of the show. A couple quick notes here. We will not be on the air tomorrow or Wednesday this week, I don't think, brother. Tomorrow, what are we going to do tomorrow, brother?
We're going to meet the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
That ought to be fun. Yeah, so tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be wrapped up, actually, just enjoying some of this stuff, being fans ourselves, which is our favorite thing to do, actually. So, yeah, we're going to be out meeting Sheamus. Wednesday, we've got a full day going on. I'm going to be at a baseball game with my son, which is going to be exciting. But Thursday, we will be back for another show with Mr. Mike Britt, I hope, brother.
Yeah, and look for us on World News. I'm going to attempt to get Sheamus to assault David with a bro kick.
I will take a bro kick for you, especially if he says, like, you're listening to that wrestling podcast and it sucks, and then he bro kicks me across the room or something. I'll take it, brother. For him saying
That's
that line, I'll
actually a
take
beautiful idea. I love it.
it. Yeah, man, you can bro kick me. Just give me this one line, brother. Yeah, so
We're always working an angle.
folks, if you like us out there, give us a thumbs up, put us over, give us a subscribe. If you don't like us, let us know. We'll do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on That Wrestling Podcast. And having said that, we will catch you guys on Thursday, I hope.
That's right, baby.
That's right, baby.
Styling and profiling.
Ooh, yeah.
Dig it. Dig it.
Can't teach that.
Carlitos Caribbean.
The following is a paid advertisement. That Wrestling Podcast is not responsible for any claims, guarantees, or products in this ad. Hey, ladies out there, you having trouble getting somebody to pay you a few dollars? Well, contact Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services today. Intervention.
You need us to intervene, smack a couple guys around? No problem.
Mediation. We can mediate your problem today. Protection.
You need your money, you need it now. We'll go find them, smack them around. Nobody's got to know a thing.
That's Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services, also known as PIMP.